Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, naku, maganda hapon ho sa inyo lahat. Welcome ho sa ating palatuntunang Embassy Natin, Kaibigan Mo. We're broadcasting live from our studios in London ho. So, welcome. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN, ang inyong hosts, one of the hosts of this program. We're coming to you live na live ho ito, no? At ito ho ay programa natin na pinaiikot ho natin sa buong Europa, no? Sabihin ko sana United Kingdom kasi nakabase ho tayo dito. Pero Europa ho, because we've been trying to get to know yung mga ambassadors ho natin, yung kumbaga yung mga faces of our country. Sila ho ang kumbaga the face of the country sa iba't ibang bahagi ho rito sa Europa. So today, we have a very special guest mula ho sa Portugal tayo. Mamamasyal ho tayo sa Portugal. Pero syempre, bago namin ho pakilala yung ating pinakamamahal na ambassador ho sa Portugal. Syempre, pakilala ko muna aking katoto, Repa Peeps, Dabar Cards, mga kaibigan, walang iba kundi si Mr. PEPS Villanueva. PEPS, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sonny, at good afternoon po sa mga nanonood sa atin dito sa Filipino TV Europe, around yung mga nasa UK, sa Europa, at sa iba't ibang dako ng daigdig. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Magandang umaga, Amerika. No? Bumati ako ng Amerika dahil meron na kagad ng message watching from Florida. No?
Labas kagad natin para makita lang.
Meron kagad.
Ayan.
Yung dating last time he was with us, he was in Seattle. Hindi sa Seattle, sa Washington State, no? But apparently now he's in Florida. Oliver Fernandez. Good morning din sa iyo, no? At okay. Welcome po dito sa Filipino TV Europe. Embassy natin, Kaibigan Mo. At medyo tayo excited dahil ang makakasama natin ngayon isa talagang batikang diplomat ng Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs. Matagal na itong ating diplomat na ito, no? Pero meron yata tayong ipapakita muna.
Yes, we'll have to. Yes, may ipapakita. Yes, we will have to show something muna. Ito ho, mga kaibigan, ikot ho kami ni PEPS. Ngayon ho, sa araw na to, on the 19th of July, nasa Portugal ho tayo. At Portugal, PEPS, ano yan ano na yan, parang historical din, or parang, how would you say, we could relate to it dahil, although, Castilla, no, under King Philip yung ating bansa, di ba? Yung Pilipinas, okay, na-discover. Ang taong nag-discover niyan, iba ang nationality dahil ibang sila yata parang nag-i-sponsor Halimbawa, 'di ba kunyari kaharian ng
hindi
Espanya.
Hindi siya makakuha ng hindi siya makakuha ng sponsor sa Portugal. Tumakbo sa kabila.
Yes, ito syempre yung pangalan niya nakaano rin kay Lapu-Lapu, 'di ba? Sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Well, okay, we're gonna be showing this to you. Ito ho ang ating pupunta ho tayo sa Portugal. Let's get to know gaano kaaktibo ho ang Portugal, gaano kahusay ho ang kanilang ambassador doon sa Portugal. At tingnan natin, di ba, mga Philcom, kung gaano sila ka-engage. So ito ho, panoorin ho nitong may konting naihandang video ho mula ho sa embahada. Pasuguan pala, Tagalog doon. Pasuguan ng Pilipinas sa Portugal. Panoorin natin. Wow, Peps, galing naman ha. Kita mo, may mga activities, mga youth activities at kung ano-ano pang mga may sinulog. No? Ganun pala, no? Marami silang celebration.
Sinulog doon no?
Pero may napansin ako. May napansin lang ako. Kasi pag pinapakilala natin ibang ambassadors, halimbawa Poland, meron silang mga kasama pang mga ibang countries, di ba? Pag let's say Denmark, yung ating kaibigan si Ambassador Leo Herrera Lim, yun. Meron din siyang binabanggit mga ibang bansa. Si kaibigan natin si Ambassador Frank Simafranca, meron din ibang mga bansang kasama, no? Ito parang may napansin ako sa huli, may ibang mga, may Angola yata, may mga ganun ako nakita.
Marami. Pagka pinakilala natin yung ating bisitang pandangal ngayong hapon na ito, babanggitin natin, no? Kung ano pa ang kanyang mga sinasakop bukod sa Portugal, no? Pero nakita ko yung spelling ng embahada sa kanila, may X.
H? H ang spelling?
X.
X. Oh, X. Wow. Okay, X. All right, okay. Well, Portuguese ibang salita ng Portuguese.
Alamin natin kung paano i-pronounce yun. Embahada ba? Oo.
Ayan. Sandali. Okay, sige.
Embahada rin, no? So, alamin natin, no? So,
nawala yung aking earpiece, no? Nako, ako na ngayon ang nawala ng audio. Ako ay magkukuha ng audio. Pero sandali lang, bago natin pakilala. Ako naman ay mag-ano lang ng earpiece ko dahil hindi ko marinig ngayon. Nawala na yung aking power. No? Sandali lang. Mga kaibigan, saglit lang ho. At kami ho, ito, napaka-special ng ating special guest. Teka muna, di ba napunta siya ng United Kingdom dati?
Hindi. Not officially. But if I remember right, I think she was here when Pinoy went to visit the UK.
Ayun, okay.
Tanong natin,
right.
no? But I have a feeling because I remember Cinnamon J. Jimenez, and I remember him mentioning her name, no? But I'm not sure. Alamin natin.
Ayan,
medyo
okay.
Medyo na memorya natin, medyo nawawala na. At saka nawala na rin yung ating kaibigan, no? So,
pero
can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, go ahead. Take it away, Peps. Pakilala mo na yung ating very special guest for today. Yes.
Well, itong ating bisita ngayon, hindi nga siya UP, pero University of San Francisco, California.
Wow.
Doon niya nakuha yung kanyang Bachelor of Arts in Government plus a certificate in Latin American Studies. No? And then, nagkaroon din niya ng graduate diploma course in International Relations sa Escuela Diplomática in Madrid, Spain. No? So, yan. Talaga namang imported pala yung kanyang educational background. No?
Alamin natin. Mamaya kung bakit. Paano?
California, Spain. Ano? At she held a lot of positions sa Department of Foreign Affairs. Ano? Marami yan. Maraming naging position yan. Locally, no? She started out as an assistant sa Office of Asian and Pacific Affairs, and then naging acting director yan ng Office of Protocol, no? Sa DFA, Office of American Affairs, marami. And then I think her first foreign assignment was as secretary and vice consul sa Philippine Embassy in Brasilia, no? And then she also was a second secretary and consul, Philippine Embassy, Paris, and Philippine Permanent Delegation to the UNESCO. And then siyempre, pagka natapos ka sa term mo, balik ka na naman sa Philippines. She was a director of the Office of European Affairs, and then she was assigned as First Secretary and Consul General, then Minister and Consul sa Madrid, Philippine Embassy. So, talaga naman. And then when she went back to the Philippines, Special Assistant, Office of the Secretary, no? Deputy Presidential Advisor for State and Foreign Visit, Office of the President. Bago, abroad na naman. Alam mo kung saan siya nag-abroad? Duli, Sunny?
Yes.
Balik sa Spain, no? Minister and Consul General, Philippine Embassy, Madrid.
Doon ko siya nakausap noong araw. Noong araw, hindi niya siguro matanda na.
Deputy Chief of Mission yan.
Yes.
I think you met her when she was there, ano?
Yes. And
dahil
Ed, no?
Consul General yan, and at the same time, naging CDA yan, no? Sa Philippine Embassy sa Madrid. And then from there, she became the Chief of Presidential Protocol, no? Na detailed yan sa Office of the President.
Nakikita natin sa
Assistant
TV yan.
Secretary.
Oo, nakikita natin sa
Naging
TV.
Assistant Secretary rin yan, Office of International Economic Relations, sa DFA. At meron siyang 2 malaking awards na natanggap, no? The Philippine Presidential Medal of Merit
Wow.
and Encomienda de Dama de Merito Civil. No?
May translation ba yan?
Sa Spain yan, noong 2007. no?
Dama, ano ba yan? Dame ba? Ganon? Dama eh.
Siguro. No?
Oo, Dame, di ba? Dame, okay.
Yeah,
Sige.
Dame. Dahil
Okay.
alam nga namang checkers.
Oo, Dame eh. Oo.
Dama.
Sige.
De Merito Civil. No?
Go ahead, Pep. Sige.
Spain. Pakilala na natin, ladies
Pakilala
and
mo na.
gentlemen.
Oh, excited na ako eh.
Yeah, the Philippine Ambassador to Portugal with, ito yung sinasabi ko sa iyo, concurrent jurisdiction over the Republic of Cabo Verde,
Saan yun?
the Republic of Guinea-Bissau,
Okay.
the Republic of Angola,
Alamin
and the
natin.
Democratic Republic of Sao Tome and Principe. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency Ambassador Celia Ana Peria. Ambassador, good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, Ambassador.
Good afternoon from Lisbon, Sonny and PEPS. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today.
I don't know if you remember it a long time ago. Na-interview kita, nakausap kita when we were starting out with the radio, yung Pinoy Radio UK. I think I interviewed you and Ed, si Ed sigurado we have the tape on air. So welcome sa ating we're so excited. Pinaganda niyo yung araw na yun. You are the beauty with the beasts, no? Today, no? Nakapaligid ang kagandahan sa amin. Ma'am, curious lang kami. Would like to get to know the ambassador. Siyempre, it's kayo'y nandiyan dyan, no? It's nice siguro people would know kung paano, how did you start, paano kayo nagsimula dyan. Nag-aral ka ng hindi ka nagtapos sa Pilipinas. Why? Taga saan ba ang mga hindi Feria ang apelido mo? That's not your yan ang marriage surname mo, di ba? Sino ka ba dati?
Okay. So, first of all, good afternoon to all the viewers in Europe and hello to everybody else around the world. No, actually, lumaki ako sa Maynila. I went to UP for 1 year. I was, in fact, in the swimming team in UP. I was swimming every day. And I was a pre-dentistry major. And after a year, I decided to move to the States. So doon ako natapos sa San Francisco. I took up a course that didn't involve mathematics. Well, it was, it's not easy. It wasn't a first choice to be a diplomat. It was, many things in the making. And when I realized that I wasn't made out to be a dentist, I had to find what my strengths were. And I think my strengths were in languages, studying history and politics and that sort of thing. And I think it was also to make up because my father was a foreign service graduate. Pero because he was the youngest in the family, so napilitan siyang to follow his mother's wishes, which is to run the farm in Negros. So he was I think I felt that. And when I joined the Foreign Service, I think he was the happiest person in the world.
You said, Ambassador, I decided. Why was it? You were taking up your dentistry sa UP first year. Ano yan? You just talk to your dad, decided, kasi magastos yan eh, di ba? Comparing siguro dito sa UK, ang tuition fee nasa basta mahal, doble o ng isa pagka foreign student, no? You said you decided, bakit? Parang you were telling, kasi mas mahal yan eh. What was the reaction of your dad? Because pupunta ka sa Amerika, doon ka mag-aaral, anak, medyo mahal yan. Or was it because the family is a bit affluent na you were able to afford it at gusto mo magtapos ako sa Amerika?
I think that was in the, I graduated high school 1978. So I was in UP 79 to 80. So that was 1980 when I went to the States. At that time, murang-mura pa. And at that time, I remember when I got to the States, I think I started working during part-time, doing part-time work I went to the University of San Francisco, and at that time, mababa pa talaga yung tuition. Wasn't that expensive at all. And I would augment my allowance by working part-time. And at the time, the jobs that foreign students could take was mostly babysitting, cleaning houses, catering for private events. And so I did all those things for,
Wow. Really?
I think, 5 years. I
Oh,
took a
okay.
long, it took a long time for me to finish my undergraduate. Because I wasn't so sure nga what I wanted to do, if I wanted to go back to the Philippines or I wanted to continue in the States. Um, but upon graduation, uh, I was with another Filipina. We were studying. She was taking her master's. I was doing my undergraduate, and we were friends. And she introduced me to the then ambassador of Brunei Darussalam. And Brunei had just opened their embassy in Washington D.C. in '84 because they got their independence in 1984. And I graduated in 1985. So we met this ambassador in a series of conferences, and we became friends with him because Filipinas, uh, all our ASEAN friends love Filipinos because we're very kind. We're all around. We know many
Mm.
things, and so yung pala, he was already testing us kasi he was opening up, looking for staff in his embassy. So kami, after graduation, we flew over to Washington, D.C. So I worked, we were the first two Filipinas in the Brunei embassy as local hires. And so hindi muna ako umuwi sa Pilipinas kasi I was offered a job in Washington, D.C. And so I stayed with the Brunei embassy for 5 years, doing many things. My title was um, library officer, so I took care of all the subscriptions. We made reports, plus other things, plus protocol when the princess would come, doing many things. It was a learning experience. I even would babysit for the children when their father, the diplomat, would go back to Brunei. They travel, so I'd stay with their family. I even tutored their children. Basta many things, kasi you're young and you know it's like the world's your oyster. There's so many things you can do. It's all part of a learning experience. So I worked for the Brunei Embassy for 5 years, but deep inside, I think that's when it started to gel the idea of I want to join the Philippine Foreign Service. So I would always go to the Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C. and I would be saling pusa sa mga activities nila. I would also volunteer on weekends to teach young Filipino children Tagalog or or read them stories because I was just very active, and I would volunteer with the tourism office to give brochures in the department stores on weekends. It was just a thing that maybe because I was staying in the States for so long already and I missed the Philippines. And then I took the Foreign Service exam and then I passed. And so I went home in June of 1990, and that's the start of my career in the Foreign Service.
Wow, ang dami palang challenges na nangyari sa'yo, no? You went there for schooling and then did nannying, yung mga sa household, ano, no? Talagang ano, no? Talagang laban, no? Pero teka muna, ma'am.
Nag-waitress, I
Nag-waitress ka
waited
pa?
on tables.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I waited on tables. Because I was able to save money to pay for tuition and to travel and to pay for my stay in the States. Because when you're young, you get
Yeah.
challenged by being independent. So that was my challenge with my parents. I said, I'll just stay here. I'll take care of myself. Don't worry about me financially. I'll do it. So it
Wow.
was part of a learning process.
Oh,
So maybe if
independence,
I
no?
had stayed in Manila, yeah, siguro if I stayed in Manila, the whole time I'd be dependent on my parents and I wouldn't have the experiences that I had and the learning curve that I had. I know it was a valuable experience being in the States.
So you were cooking your own food, you were learning how to cook siguro on your own, everything, di ba?
Oh
Doing
yeah,
everything, no?
I like to cook. I like to cook, and I would have friends over, and actually those were really fun times. So thanks for making me remember those wonderful times in the
Kasi
past.
very interesting. We were thinking kasi nga sa Amerika ka na nagtapos. You started with your dentistry. Pero sa UP, ay, ano ka ba? Was it a scholastic? Well, syempre mababa rin ang tuition fee sa UP, no? Pero you said you were an athlete. Were you a part of the varsity team ng UP?
I was a varsity swimming team.
Oh,
in UP.
okay. Okay, so hindi mo ba ginamit yun at least sa baka pwedeng opportunity sa Amerika papasok? Sa bagay, dahil hindi ka naman citizen eh. So it wouldn't be, you wouldn't, di ba, hindi magka-count eh, no? If you applied via that route for your educational...
No, and it would have been a little bit difficult because it would have been a little bit difficult because the level of excellence now when you go at that time to the States would have been higher. And you know, after a while, I was kind of tired of getting up so early in the morning or staying up late at night in the pool and, you know, having dry hair every day. So I wanted a new adventure. And so I tried something else. And I think that adventure of being financially independent at a young age was very rewarding. And to this day, makes a great impact on me.
Wow. Inspiration niya, Peps, sa mga kababayan
working
natin.
student,
Working student. She's
kahit
done
nasa
everything,
Amerika.
actually. She's done everything. She's done, di ba? Yeah, baka may tanong ka,
I
Peps.
even worked in a bagel factory in Washington D.C. While I was
Wow.
working for the Brunei Embassy on weekends. I get up at like 5:30 in the morning for the morning shift from 6:30 until 2:30. And be in the bagel store. And you were earning money. I was making friends, and I was having fun.
First bagel ko rin sa UK, Peps, yung with Philadelphia. Alam mo yung Philadelphia? Yung parang white cheese?
Cream
Parang white
cream cheese. Yeah.
Oo, di ba? Yung
Yes.
Philadelphia, yun ang masarap yun pagka naka-ano.
Cream cheese yan.
Ang dami mong na-experience, ambassador, no? Siguro, ganito gawin natin. Let's open up the lines to our kababayans. Pero teka muna, you started in 2017, di ba? Tama ba? 17 Jan?
17 in Portugal.
Oh, okay.
In this one.
Inabot ka ng pandemic. Kumusta naman? Here in the UK, we have... teka muna. Before all of that, ilan ang Pilipino dyan muna? At saka, ano ang mga trabaho nila?
Okay. Sa Portugal, officially, there's less than 1,000. That when I say officially, that's lumalabas sa CEF, yung sa immigration office nila dito. But we think there's about 1,700 Filipinos in Portugal. And that's because in the CEF, the immigration office here, they only count those with Portuguese residence cards. So hindi na counted doon yung may Portuguese residents or Filipinos from other countries in Europe who have taken up residence here in Portugal.
Mostly, anong mga trabaho nila, ma'am? What do they do? Anong mga, kamukha dito, may mga nurses, meron mga house helps, may, anong composition ng mga Pinoy dyan? Anong trabaho nila? Or
The majority are in the service sector. And then we have people who work in offices. We have some are housewives, no? Like I said, those married to a lot of retirees of other nationalities. Office workers. We have, I think, in that video that we showed, excuse me, in that video that we showed, that actually is one of the newcomers to Portugal. She works in an accounting firm here. So marami ng kinds of work here in Portugal.
Meron din ba kayong mga cases na mga undocumented or what we call mga TNT ren, ganyan? Meron din ho ba diyan sa Portugal?
Meron.
Meron din.
Meron. Pero hindi not as much as those that I encountered while I was in Paris or in Spain. And I think the reason being is the salary here is lower than in other countries of Europe.
Okay.
So, kung makikipagsapalaran ng isang tao, I suppose they would rather go to a place where the salary is
Where
high.
they can earn more.
Yeah, where they can earn more. Yeah.
Okay. Pandemic, ma'am. We had a lot of Filipino nurses who who died because of the virus, no? At maraming mga cases dito, napakalakas ng cases dito. Mga Pinoy ho talaga, no? Diyan ho ba, kumusta naman? How was our mga Pinoy diyan? Kayo ho ba meron ho bang nasawi o kumusta naman ho ang nangyari ho during that time sa inyo? Lalo na nung kasagsagan o kainitan.
Yeah. Well, sa awa ng Diyos, there have been no deaths from the Filipino community due to COVID. We've had some close calls. Some of our kababayans were in the ICU. We followed them. The first Filipina in the ICU, I remember, was last year. And we were able to coordinate with the hospital so that her family in Manila would be apprised of what was happening to her status, no? And we were lucky naman that the Portuguese hospitals here were very kind and understanding, and they gave us updates daily until she awoke from her coma, and she actually went back home, started working, and what's really satisfying is after we got a letter from the family thanking the embassy for, following the status of their sister, the daughter. Kasi nga, mahirap yun yung nasa hospital ka, mag-isa ka, nobody can accompany you, and then your family pa is in the Philippines. So we know how that feels. I mean, I know, I'm a mother. I know how it feels when you don't know what's happening to your family. So we made it a point to follow her. And ayun, sa awa ng Diyos, she's fine, she's okay. We even recommended that she donate her plasma to help future patients of COVID.
For research,
I think she did. So, yeah, and it's good because we said thank you also to the Portuguese health system because they really took care of her. So I wrote a letter to the hospital, which I think the doctors were very thankful. Na, an appreciation from a foreign government, from the ambassador saying thank you for the care that they gave this Filipina.
Wow. Okay. Well, at least, no? Maganda ang kanyang natanggap na service, no? Health service diyan sa no? Ma'am, we heard birthday yata ni inyong better half kahapon ba? Happy birthday kahapon kay Mr. Feria. Tama ho ba?
No, I'm single.
Okay.
Actually, Feria is my maiden name. I'm a single mom.
Right. Feria, meron tayong sikat na Justice Feria. Tama ho ba yan?
Yes, he was my dad's first cousin.
Ganun ba yan? Oh, okay. Kasi I took upload din, no?
Sino yung may birthday ngayon?
Okay. Akala ko ni Paula na okay. Anyway, ma'am, magbe-break muna tayo, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll get some calls from our kababayans na yung mga kababayans natin diyan at kikilalanin natin, no? Peps, baka may pagbati ka muna, Peps, ano ba? Or
meron na private message sa akin, The ambassador is a very good friend of mine. Magaling yan. From Ambassador Tess Dizon de Vega.
Uy.
Yeah,
Ambassador, mabuhay, ha? Mahal natin.
And then, nanonood din from the Philippines. Nasa Philippines siya ngayon. Yung isa pang inaantay nating makarating sa Vatican City, no? The Ambassador Myla Makahilig is also watching.
Lahat yan yata. Yan ang Philippine Embassy sa London nanggaling, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why and they were involved with the show when they were here. No? Nung Tess, Amba Tess was the one who
pioneered it with us.
Who was our first co-host, no?
Ng Embassy natin, kaibigan mo. Si Tess is an amazing person. So
at that time we were only doing UK. No? So regular yung Conjen as our co-host. And then after Amba Tess, the Conjen Bernie, and then Deputy Conjen Myla, no? Who's now ambassador. So, naging tuloy. And then, of course, Conjen Senen, no? Was the last one.
Yeah.
And then, ngayon, biglang live stream na. During their time, it was just Pinoy Radio UK. No? So, ngayon, Filipino TV Europe na. So, yung baby nila, Ambates, grew to something bigger. At Europe na, hindi ba, Sunny?
Yes, Europe.
Nakakapagod
Yes.
lang ang because we have to travel all around Europe eh. Every week?
Yes, every week. And then, hindi, I don't know kung natatandaan ni Ambassador, but I had the chance to talk to her a long time ago when we were starting out yung Pinoy Radio UK, because I had an interview with si Eddie, no, si Ed, no, si Ambassador Ed De Vega. Yun, dahil nasa Barcelona sila nung panahon na yun. So I was trying to get hold of you guys, no. So okay, we're gonna have a short break, Ambassador. At ngayon siguro baka na-meet mo na to sa mga Filipino events, but just the same, they would represent our kababayans in Portugal. Parang in a way, they're representing the questions na nasa isip po ng ating mga kababayan dyan sa Portugal, no?
Okay.
So, okay, wag ko kayo nga alis mga kaibigan, saglit ho, at we have a very special guest, no? Kasama ho natin yung ating ambassador, no? Si Ambassador Celia Ana Feria. Cookie. Saan ang galing yung cookie? Bakit cookie ka? Makatako ka ba sa biscuit, sa
Mahabang
cookie?
storya yan.
Oh,
Sa
sige.
next half na lang.
Sige, pagbalik natin. We're gonna have a short break, mga kaibigan. Aalamin natin yan, no? Okay, saglit ho. At asa na ba? Peps, asa ka na ba? Ayan. Okay,
Dito
we're gonna
ako.
have a short break. Wag ko kaya alis, saglit po lamang.
You know what? I hear my friends.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating programa, no? Embassy nating kaibigan mo, at nasa Portugal ho tayo mga kaibigan. Kasama ho natin yung ating pinakamamahal na ambassador, no? Sa Portugal. Pero siyempre si Peps, tawagin natin. Peps, good afternoon once again.
Andito pa rin tayo, no? Dito po sa embassy natin kaibigan mo on Filipino TV Europe. Salamat World Remit, no? But it's because of you that we are here, no? Ngayong regular to every week.
Yan.
So
Once again,
marami nang nagme-message sa atin
sige, ilalabas lang natin saglit,
Sunny,
no? Para
gusto mong silipin yung ating mga comments,
Okay,
no?
sige, sandali ha. Let's make way to ano. Si Teresita
At
Ortman.
nandito rin, nanonood si
Yan.
Adele, Manang Adele Dueñas, nanonood, Joe Cruz, Bong Magtoto,
Yeah.
at si Emmeline Rafael, no? Maraming mga si Marites Allen, no?
Uy, si Marites, si ating kumare.
mga
Okay,
kaibigan
ito,
natin
sige.
nandyan,
Sige
no?
yan, sunod-sunod lang natin bago natin ipasok yung ating first caller sa sa Portugal.
Yan.
Okay.
Good afternoon from Switzerland, no? Si Teresita Ortman. At
Ayan.
nag-message din sa nag-message din sa YouTube yan, no? Pero
Mabuhay,
meron na una kay Teresita, nakita mo?
Wala ako nakikita
A
dito. Oliver
evening
Fernandez
from the
kanina.
Philippines, si
Ah.
MJ Hilum,
Ito,
and then before Teresita, si Lani Cuyos Yu. No?
okay, pakibasa na
Lani
Peps, hindi lumabas.
Cuyos Yu,
Ayan.
Ben Bindo. So malamang tiga nito sa Portugal ito, no? Si Lani
Eh,
Cuyos Yu, dahil Ben Bindo ang bati niya, no?
Yes.
And then si Andrea Belen
Belen.
Garcia, good afternoon po, watching from Portugal. Si Tactic, watching from Philippines.
Yes, okay.
And then ang sumunod, si Soledad Silverio Reyes, good evening from the Philippines. Si Paulo Pinto, good afternoon from Lisbon.
Ayan.
Andrea Belen
Garcia.
Garcia, good afternoon po, watching from Santarem, Portugal. No? Malayo kaya sa Lisbon yon, no? And then si Caroline Hoffman.
Ito
Asa
si
ka
ano, sandali. DG Emmanuel, yes. Uy, long time no here. Yan. Sabi niya, glad to see the ambassador
Emmanuel,
here.
glad to see our ambassador here, no?
Okay, very good friend Marites Allen. Good afternoon, great show, no? Sabi niya.
Yan, si Marites Allen. And then before that, si Caroline Hoffman, bonjour,
okay.
Rami, Amba
Okay.
Cookie from France, no?
Ayan pala. Kay Carlos's wife, Ma'am Mabil pala. Sorry, my apologies kanina, no? Akala ko yun ang ano. Okay.
Napag-mix up mo yung may birthday.
Sabi gano'n. Yung ating mga participants pala yun. No? Sanchez Grace, congratulations po. No? Tama ba? Lumalabas sa'yo? And Jessa May Dakulan, good afternoon po. Watching from the Philippines. Ayan. Nababasa mo, Peps? Ayan.
Si Sanchez Grace, watching from Lisbon, Portugal.
Okay. All right.
Si Dakulan from the Philippines.
Ayan.
Si
Shoni
Lourdes
Felix.
Mendez.
Mhm.
Si Shoni Felix. Nakita mo si Shoni Felix.
Yes, yeah.
Watching from Bondensi, Switzerland. No?
Okay.
There's
All right.
Grace, Parabens, watching from Lisbon, Portugal.
Sige.
Grace
Okay,
Sanchez.
yes. Okay.
Jessa May Dakulan, watching from the Philippines.
Okay. Andito na.
At
Go ahead. Sorry. Sige, go ahead.
merong isa pa, watching from Northern Portugal, no? Si Noemi Judge.
Ayan. Let's say hello
Saka
to...
from Belas, Portugal, no?
Sandali. Tignan natin si Peps kung andyan na. Peps, andyan ka na ba? Peps? Asan na ba si Peps? Wala yata si Peps. Peps, andyan ka na ba? Okay, nag-freeze yata. Pero si Ambassador, let's check on Ambassador. Nag-freeze din yata si Ambassador, no? Okay, sandali, pakita ko lang muna yung video ng Portugal, no? Yung embassy ng Portugal, nang sa ganun ay makita ho ninyo yung mga activities ho nila ron. Ito po, Philippine Embassy in Portugal, activities with the Filipino community. Okay, welcome back sa ating program. Medyo nagkaroon ho tayo ng konting technical adjustment lang ho, no? And ayan, tuloy-tuloy na ho tayo. Peps, andyan ka na ba?
Yes, I'm back.
Nawala tayo for a while. Okay, nawala tayo for a while, no?
Medyo nawala, no? Sandali. At nakabalik naman.
Okay.
At sabi nga nila, it's good to be back.
Yes. Okay, let's welcome back the Ambassador, no? Ambassador, yes, once again, welcome sa ating programang Embassy Natin Kaibigan mo, and we're so glad, no? You're a very special guest for today, ho, no? And lagi ka namin nakikita sa TV noon, nung mga nakaraan, bago ka yata na destino dyan, and you will, with the President, di ba? Ikaw yata in charge sa mga, mga activities, coordination. Paano ho ba yan? Sandali, Ambassador, sandali lang. Okay, go ahead, please. Yeah, we were seeing you.
When I finished my term in Madrid in 2012, I went back home to the DFA, and there was an opening. Because when you go back to the DFA, you work obviously in the DFA, no? But at the time, nagka-opening sa Office of Protocol, mag-retire na yung then Chief of Protocol of President Aquino, and they were interviewing for applicants who wanted the job. And so I said, okay, I think there were two of us from the DFA who applied for the job. And I was chosen. And so I worked as Chief of Presidential Protocol from December 2012 until until July 2016. Because I spent 1 month with President Duterte for the turnover.
Ayun, nakikita ka namin. Lagi ka na sabi, uy, kilala namin yun, si Ambassador Feria, no? So, yes. Okay.
Nakita niyo yun when the Pope went to the Philippines,
yes,
when Obama went to the Philippines, and when all these other dignitaries went to the Philippines. And of course, when the President goes abroad, that's what I do. I take care of those trips.
I mentioned it earlier. I think you were with a group when Pinoy came here some time ago.
I think that was my predecessor, because that was before December 2012. But I was in London with when President Arroyo went to the UK. It's a long time ago. It was still Ambassador Bautista.
Wrong president, but I remember that one.
Yeah.
Nasa Four Seasons pa tayo nung nag-ano yung...
I was handling the UK desk. So I handled the United States, in the office of UK affairs. So the UK was one of my countries. So when the president went to the UK, we were the ones who went with her.
Okay, all right. Ma'am, we will now open. Talagang marami talaga napuntahan si si Ambassador, no? Oo. Okay. I-welcome natin. Tingnan ko kung pwede na to ma-welcome to ating kababayan dito mula sa ito yata si Jayma. Let's say hello to her. Jaymalin, no? Jaymalin nga ba? Jaymalin, sige.
Jaymalin Day.
Day na pangasawa niya, no? Tingnan natin kung lalabas ang boses niya, no? Jaymalin, magandang hapon sa'yo. Nag-freeze yata ang video mo. Jaymalin, good afternoon to you. Hello?
Nakatulog.
Hindi, andito siya. Pero tingnan natin. Jaymalin, how are you? Kumusta? Hi, Jaymalin. Tawagan natin ulit. Attorney tuloy. Tawagan natin ulit. We will call you again, no? Tawagan natin ulit. Baka, Okay. Peps, baka may gusto kang itanong pa kay Ambassador, no? Yung cookie siguro.
Biglang nagising, ang mga nagme-message ngayon, puro tiga Portugal, watching from northern Portugal. Si Noily Judge, nabanggit ko na yan kanina, no? Si Anita Lomboy, from Belas, Portugal.
Okay.
From Sintra, Portugal, Benju D. Amora, Portugal, Lourdes Mendez. Only 20 minutes to Lisbon. Anong pronunciation nito? Cascais? Portugal? Cascais, yeah. Eva Macaraig. From Lisbon, Portugal, si Lucy Bernabe Claridades. No? And from Croydon, UK, Julie Villanueva is watching. Uy, asawa ko pala yun. Nanonood sa
Right. Okay, Pep, sige, go ahead lang. No? Baka may mga ka lang dyan.
Yeah.
Because we'll have to
yung mga And then from London, si Evelyn Rafael. Good afternoon to everyone. Nasa pala siya? Nasa Wimbledon. Tapos na yung bakit yan nasa Wimbledon? Doon nga pala siya nakatira. Wimbledon. Ayan.
Okay, sige. Sige lang. Medyo tinitignan ko lang itong Okay, i-restart lang natin itong kabila. Sayang, no? Merong dito, tag dito, nawala lang yung kanilang, yung ating caller dito, no? Sige, Peps, if you have any questions.
So, at the moment, Amba, are you fully staffed? Dahil yan ang problema namin dito sa UK, kulang ng 5, no? That's why there's a backlog.
Maliit lang ang embassy namin. So, there are 8 of us from Manila and 1 local hire. So, we're an embassy of 9. And we cover, aside from Portugal, we cover those 4 Portuguese-speaking countries in Western Africa. So, Angola, where we also have over 1,000 Filipinos, about 1,400, almost 1,500 Filipinos. And then we have South American Principe, which is also on the western coast of Africa. There's about 26 Filipinos there with their families. And then we have also from Guinea-Bissau, which is an even smaller country off the western coast of Africa. And we have about, at the moment, I think we have 2 Filipinos there. And then Cabo Verde, which is off the coast of Africa, western Africa. We have about, I think, 1 na lang ngayon na titira na Filipino doon. And it's a group of islands. They have 10 islands in South American Principe. And in one of the islands is a Filipino who lives there with her Cape Verdean spouse.
Wow, no? At are those countries close to each other o layo-layo rin yan? Although I know they're all in Africa, are they near each other?
Yeah.
When you do you do outreach programs there?
Yes. Before the COVID, we did outreach, especially to Angola, because there's almost 1,500 Filipinos there. And most of them have been there even during the Civil War. Civil War in Angola, they've been there. And they're very highly respected migrant workers in Angola. Most of them are professionals, engineers, civil, construction engineers, oil engineers, mining engineers, and we also have some in the civil, some working in the offices, and they're doing very well, although it's really far away. The last time we were there in Angola was in 2019, and then COVID struck, so we were not able. But fortunately, we have a consulate, an honorary consul general in Angola and Rwanda, who's very, very efficient. And we're in touch with them every day. And then the Filipinos in Angola, they also have a Facebook page, it's called Filipinos in Angola. And so we actively also monitor them, and they can also write to us. And so, this thing with social media keeps everybody together. Yung lang sa South American principle, that's Angola. They're the biggest number of Filipinos, but it's only 25, 26. And most of them are already married into the local community. And so I visited Angola, I think 2 or 3 times already. South American principle 1, to present credentials, and then Cabo Verde also 1, to present credentials. I'm still awaiting for notice from Guinea-Bissau to present my credentials as Philippine ambassador there.
Okay, yeah. So, these are all Portuguese territories ba ang tawag na? Or Portuguese?
They were former Portuguese. They were former Portuguese colonies, and so I think it's easier for the Department of Foreign Affairs to cover them from Portugal because of the affinity they have with Portugal. So in terms of politics, we're close to Portugal. They have what's called the PPLC, or the Community of Portuguese-speaking countries, of which the main, it's like the Commonwealth. Okay? So it's they have 9 member states, and they're mostly from Africa. So there's 4 countries I mentioned, from including Mozambique, and then you have Brazil, you have Timor-Leste, and Portugal. So that's I think 8 countries. So it's easier to follow what's happening to those countries politically because they have embassies. I think sometimes.
Okay, I have a feeling, your Wi-Fi is acting up. Biglang nag-choppy yung sound, no, paminsan-minsan. Hopefully, it's not as bad, no? So, good day. Watching from Belfast, no? Northern Ireland, Ludi Ribrojo. And then, congratulations to our ambassador. So proud of you. Very inspiring. God bless po. Andrea S. Belen Garcia. So, yan yung ating mga kababayan dyan sa Portugal, no? Ito po yung ating ambassador, si Ambassador Cookie area. Ambassador, you're the second Cookie that I've met.
Really, who's the first one?
Cookie Jokno.
Cookie Monster. Yes, of course. I know the sister, Maris is a good friend. And Chell is like a bata. Yeah.
And then Chell is the younger brother naman. No?
So, Chell's my age. When I was studying in high school, I was in Assumption, Chell was in the south, so we had brother and sister class. We had class parties with his classroom,
Lasal yan 1978, class 78. No? So same class kayo. And then,
sige, Peps, tuloy mo lang yung questions mo nga pala. Baka hindi natin makuha, hindi siya ma-pick up. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna be isasagap na lang natin yung questions ng ating mga yung magtatanong, no? Okay. Alright. Peps, baka may pagbati ka lang dyan. Sige. Baka may tanong ka muna kay, isa pang tanong kay Ambassador na pwede niyang sagutin muna.
Well, at least dyan sa Lisbon, you also follow the appointment system online or by telephone, or how do you do the appointment system? I think it would be easier there dahil mas konti.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. In fact, maybe I could take this opportunity. I don't know, if you have people from, kasi open naman ang Portugal to tourists from different countries. Yun na nga, we just have to always just keep in, how do you say this, monitor what countries are able to come in Portugal. Because this virus, it just evolves, and then they have measures that adjust as the situation changes. So we've actually received, kasi mga photo Filipino dito, so we're able to get applicants from outside Portugal who happen to be visiting, for instance, Lisbon. And so we've had some people from nearby Spain come over. We have an appointment, online appointment. I think it's appointment.lisbonpe@gmail.com. And they can go to the embassy Facebook page and put a message there and ask for an appointment.
Okay. So mas simple. Tama, dahil because you have fewer Filipinos there, it's much easier to manage, dahil dito, at the moment,
Ang problema lang is, ang problema lang talaga is, when people come here from outside Portugal, they go back to their country. Sometimes there are quarantine regulations that they have to comply with when they return to their home countries. So, yun lang, it has to be adjusted. But, we just ask for understanding. This virus is, everything that's being done is really to avoid the propagation of the virus. And so we want to be very careful. So there's all kinds of measures that have to be undertaken. Even sa Manila, yung quarantine, na kailangan ng quarantine for 14 days, for 10 days in a hotel, and 4 days at home. All this is actually being done, not to make it difficult for us, but because it's the virus, we can't control it. We can't tell the virus to stop moving. So, it's been difficult. Even I haven't been home. I haven't seen my son in a long time, and he's not something either. Pero, tagalan talaga, and it's everybody is affected by this. And hopefully, if we all do our part, this thing won't last long. But we need to just to understand the situation and to follow rules and regulations. Yeah.
Okay, PEPS, andito yung we had a bit of a problem sa technical natin. Hindi natin ma-feed yung kanilang video, but we will make sagap na lang dito sa questions nila, no? We have here with us sino yung kanina nating una? PEPS?
Jaymalyn.
Jaymalyn. Okay, ito siya. Ayan, si Jaymalyn.
Hi, Jayma!
Oh, ayan. Hindi mo narinig, Jaymalyn. Nag-hi sa'yo. Ma'am, one way na siguro to. Teka muna. Hi, Jay. Wala kang marinig, no? Pero ako na lang mag-relay. Nag-hi sa'yo si Ma'am Ambassador, no? Ayan, hi, Jayma. Hindi kasi ma-pick up ang video niya, no? Ayan, Jayma, kumakaway sa'yo si Ambassador. Nakakita mo ba? Ayan.
Hello po. Magandang hapon po
sa I can hear her.
viewers, lalo na sa ating matulungin at supportive na Ambassador Celia Ferreira. Magandang hapon po.
Yes, sige. Ano yung question mo? Sige, magtanong ka. Wait, matagal ka na ba dyan sa Portugal? Kailan ka napat pa dyan?
21 years. 21 years na po.
Wow, 21 years? Mukha ka lang 22 years old?
Oh, thank you.
21 years ka na. Kailan? So, yeah, okay. Paano ka napadpad? How were you able to get there? Paano ka napunta rin?
Nandito po yung parents ko. Bali, OFW po sila dito sa Portugal kasi noong maliit pa po kami, ay nag-isip na po ang aking mga magulang kung paano po kami may padala sa universidad at mapag-aral. Kaya nag-isip po sila na mag-ibang bansa, which is napili nila ang Portugal that time. That was 1990.
Okay, so fluent ka na ba sa Portuguese? Fluent ka na sa Portuguese?
Okay na, nakakapagsalita po at nakakaintindi. But I don't consider na fluent pa rin ako.
Ayan. O sige, go ahead with your question. No? Nakikinig si Ambassador. One way lang tayo ngayon. Dahil hindi ka Okay, Ambassador, may tanong si Ambassador, may tanong ho rito si okay, sige.
Sa aming napakabait na Ambassador, wala po kaming maisip na may tanong sa'yo. But then, ito po ang aming katanungan galing po sa OFW Family Club Portugal Chapter. Kung ano po ang mga hamon at pagsubok na hinaharap nyo sa ngayon, lalo na itong pandemya, kung saan kami ni Miss Lani Yu bilang namumuno ng organisasyon sa Portugal ay makatulong at masuportahan kayo.
Ayun. Aba, sila pa gusto mo sumuporta. Ano ba kailangan mo, Ambassador? You know, yes, go ahead, Attorney. Ambassador.
Thank you for that question. Parang question pang Miss Universe yata yan. But it just shows talaga the cooperation between the embassy and the Filipino community here. We're open 24 hours sa kanila. We try our best to always be there for them and make avenues of communication open. You know, Facebook, even our personal Facebook is open to them. We just want to continue working, and I hear echo kasi. So we just want to continue the relationship that we have with the Filipino community, the openness that we have with them. We continue to have open lines of communication both ways, you know, them with us and us with them. And we always give a reaction to or a solution to a problem that they tell us. And so I just like to thank Jema and Lani and all the Filipinos in Portugal for being very talaga to the embassy. It's just that during the pandemic, mahirap talaga. Although we've continued with what we call yung Linggo sa Embaixada, for the first Sunday of every month, we open to the public. Before, it was no need for an appointment, but now with the confinement measures and the health measures, we have to limit the number of people in the embassy. So it's by appointment. So we open on the first Sunday of the month. And before that, nagpapasine pa kami dito, meetings of the Filipino associations, we have conferences, but now we can't do that. So maybe just a little understanding that as soon as things settle, go back to normal, we can go back to the regular schedule with the Filipino community. But thank you so much for your support. Kayo talaga yung nagpapalakad ng community here. We're here to support you, and thank you so much for all the support that you've given to the embassy and will continue to do to the embassy.
Oy, galing ha. Pasalamat daw sa inyo, no? Ano pangalan niyo, no? J. Malinda.
Jema pala ang kanyang nickname, no?
Pero mo, imbis na siya pa ang, ma'am, ano ba pwede namin maitulong dyan? Diba? Parang gano'n, no? Which is good. Maswerte kayo, ma'am, ha? Maswerte kayo, Ambassador. And you have your kababayans who truly love you and they appreciate you. Jema, thank you, ha? Ayan, magpaalam ka na, no? Ayan, madidinig ka ni Ambassador.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you,
Maraming
Jema.
salamat sa suporta nyo. Napakabait nyo. Lahat po, nire-reach out nyo lahat ng Pilipino dito sa Portugal para matulungan at mapakinggan ang kanilang mga hinaing.
Ayun, okay. Ayan, kita mahusay. Ma'am, mahusay, ha? They love you. They appreciate what you've done and and still are doing. Natutuwa. Oo, talagang natutuwa.
But all that, I'm Sonny and PEPS, just to say, yeah, it's me, but it's really the entire embassy. I have, you know, all my officers and staff, everybody here. I don't do this by myself. I'm the face, yes, but the work is done by everybody here. So we should all thank them. I thank them for doing everything.
They love you and they love you and they're doing their utmost because of you, no? So ikaw din, sila din a reflection mo, no? In a way, it trickles down to the people who are working, you know, with you. So yeah, teka lang, subukan natin. Thank you, Jay, you know. Cute kasi ang pangalan nito si Jema. Sige, we'll call the other ones, no? So, salamat, Jema.
Subukan natin. Hopefully makakonect ka na, no? And in the meantime, batiin lang natin itong mga iba pang mga nanonood sa atin. Si Melisol Pimentel, si Gary Sarte, no? Si Ed yan, no? Ed, watching from London daw siya, no? Mm-hmm. So, alam mo ba, ang biggest regret ko is not joining my wife nung anniversary ng Fatima because she and her friends went to Lisbon. Nag-overnight sila sa Lisbon. They arrived the day before and then they went to Fatima. At Kasi puro babae sila eh, no? So I didn't feel like going with them, but they said it was really a beautiful experience, ano? Yung procession, everything in Fatima. Fatima and
it's a very spiritual, yeah. It's a very spiritual experience to do the Fatima. And we have a Filipino community in Fatima also. There's in fact a hotel called Pinoy House owned by a Filipino-Portuguese couple. And so you should come over. I don't know what the health measures are when you come back from Portugal. When you go back to the UK, you might need to quarantine, but it's worth the spiritual experience of coming to Fatima.
You were the first country to, one of those first, no? Nasa green light sa amin, may green, di ba? PEPS, di ba? Biglang nawala, biglang nagtakbuhan silang pabalik dito because there was a one of
this. Biglang ginawang amber eh.
Biglang amber, kararating pa lang, kalalapag lang, kararating sa hotel, biglang dineclare na amber, they had to book the flight coming back kagad, no? But anyway, yes, we look forward to seeing you, Ambassador, dyan sa Lisbon at yung ating mga sa Portugal.
Sa Fatima, no?
And mga kababayan natin. Oh, yeah. Okay, eto, pasensya na, the guys, eto si English to, Peps, ha? We will have to talk in English because you and I, alam mo naman tayo, medyo meron tayong nosebleed, no?
Kung gusto niya, Portuguese, dahil...
Okay. Okay, let's say hello to, this is Tandali, Ambassador. Ito si Carlos Sampaio. Payo yata. Tama ba? Sampaio. Carlos,
Sampaio, yes.
Good afternoon to you. Carlos, yeah, okay. Carlos, we're
hi,
making...
guys.
Oh, hi, guys. Yes. The ambassador. Yes.
How are you?
Hi.
How is everyone watching this? And how is the ambassador? How are you?
Ambassador.
Hi, Carlos. Hi, Mabel. Hi, Anyag.
Ayan. Si
Hello.
Anya. Ano pangalan ito?
Hi, guys. Anyag.
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 Help here, so I'm not alone. I'm too afraid to be alone, so I have some people to help me here.
Can we ask you how the love story began? How was it? Love at first sight? How did you bump into each other? How was it? How was the story? Yeah.
Well, this can take some hours to tell.
Alright.
Very fast. We met each other
Hindi pumapasok.
Paula, sandali. Si Paula, you're on air. Paula, you're on air. Nadidinig ka. Lumulusot yung audio mo. Okay, sorry. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Go ahead, yes.
We met in 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
Ay, sorry. Bakit ba? Na-click natin si Paula tuloy. Okay, sorry. Okay, na-click natin. Sorry, my apologies kasi lumalabas yung audio ni Paula. Sandali. Let's go back to you. All right. Go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead.
We were pen pals for a long time. Of course, our friendship got bigger and stronger. Eventually, when I finished my studies and when she finished her studies, I went to Philippines. We met personally. We went to travel around the Philippines and we became, lovers for life.
Wow.
And here we are.
Pen pals and then lovers for life. What's your name of your wife? Mabel, right? Mabel?
Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel.
Mabel, was it love at first sight? Poging-pogi, very handsome, good-looking guy. He looks like an actor. Ha?
Hindi siya love at first sight.
Hindi siya love at first sight. Talaga, mistiso. Hindi naman mistiso, tunay na yan, no? Okay. So how long did the love story, how long was the courtship before you finally became lovers for life?
Ano po? Sorry.
Okay. Gaano katagal ang ligawan? Gaano katagal mo siya sinagot bago naging lovers for life kayo? Pinahirapan mo ba?
Ligawan na nangyari. It was mutual.
Mutual, right away. Okay. And so how many babies do you have now? How many kids? Uy, what's her name? Ganda naman, oh. Ganda naman, oh. Oh, yan, oh. Naku, nagpupungas-pungas pa. O mukha yatang inaantok yata yung inyong anak, no? Ayan.
Kakagising lang kasi wala sa mood.
Taga saan ka sa Pilipinas, Mabel?
Cebu.
Cebu, Bisaya. Oh, Cebu. Si Ambassador yata is Ilonggo, no? Ilonggo ba? Tama ba?
Yes, from Bacolod. Yeah.
From Bacolod. Ayan.
From Bacolod.
Okay. Ayan, okay. Ano tanong? What's your question, Carlos? We will have to make way. You are like a Pinoy. Well, you're married to a Filipina, so in a way, you're now an honorary Filipino. Okay, what is your question to our good ambassador?
Well, my question is, with some introduction, this year, 2021, we celebrated the 500th anniversary of the arrival of Magellan to the Philippines. It's a very big year with very big celebrations prepared. Unfortunately, as we know, we were hit by the pandemic of COVID, and some events had to be canceled or changed. My question is, what is the embassy doing to counter these obstacles imposed by the COVID, and how can we make this celebration not be forgotten and be important to everyone, in particular the Portuguese community and the Filipino community?
In other words, how would they creatively, or would they still go ahead and pursue the celebration, the anniversary for Magellan, in the midst of the pandemic? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, ma'am, ano ba ang gagawin? What are you going to be doing? Because I think it was put off for a year yata because of the COVID. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, hi Carlos, hi Mabia, hi Anya. Thanks for that question. So, just as a background, we've 500 years of the circumnavigation of the world by the Magellan Elcano expedition. It's actually 2021, and it started. The expedition left Spain in 2019. So the Philippine government initiated this National Historical the National Quincentennial Committee, and to do all these activities about the circumnavigation and the role that the Philippines played in this circumnavigation. Because as you know, Magallanes and Magellan died in the Philippines. So the Philippines plays a very important part in the story of the circumnavigation. But at the same time, there are also Philippine narratives that have to be told revolving the circumnavigation. And our job here was to bring out our Philippine narratives to the Portuguese, and at the same time also bring out the Portuguese narratives to the Philippines. So it's a way of exchanging information, and this is like historical data. And we're very happy that we did it, because we're able to fill in the gaps of information in the Philippines and in Portuguese about each other's country and the role that we played in the Quincentennial celebration. We've had to resort to online activities. Recently, I think it was last week, where we had a webinar entitled "From Spices to Startups," which was more of a contemporary story of the Philippines in trade with Portugal. Then we're also right now actually planning with the Santa Casa de Misericordia de Lisboa for an exhibit on the Santo Niño here in Lisbon. That will be from December this year to February 2022, right? So we're hoping that the health situation in Portugal improves, so that we have this exhibit in December. But regardless, we've decided to push through with the activities, with the planning, regardless of what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen between now and December, but we need to go on with these activities. So we continue to tell our stories in Portugal, and that's one way of raising awareness about the Philippines in Portugal. And as you pointed out earlier, Sonny, in the beginning, we were a Spanish colony because Spain arrived with in an expedition headed by the Portuguese Ferdinand Magellan. So what we do here is we tell the stories of Magellan and how we know him in the Philippines, in our history.
How do you tell the stories, nga pala? You said you were telling the stories. Barry, December is the time when you will be more or less holding something important, di ba? Sabi nyo? Tama ba yan?
That will be an exhibit, an exhibit here in a museum about the Santo Niño. Kasi it was Magellan who brought the image of the Santo Niño to the Philippines.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's the story there. So that's his role that he, one of the important legacies of Magellan. In 2019 naman, we had a conference here with 5 historians. We had Ambet Ocampo, Danny Hirona, who's the most renowned Philippine historian when it comes to Magellan. He's written the most about Magellan.
Yes,
And then we had Rene Escalante of the National Historical Commission. We had Chas Navarro and Noel Feliz Rodriguez to talk about Magellan during the time that he arrived in the Philippines. So these are stories, our history that we brought into Portugal, and it was very well received. In fact, now we work very well with the Centro, what's called CHAM, the Center for Humanities of the University Nova de Lisboa, and we're coming up with cultural publications to, like I said, to bring out the story of the Philippines in Portugal and the Portuguese in the Philippines. Kasi we're so used to the Spanish perspective, the American perspective, so we're bringing in now the Portuguese perspective. And so we're very thankful to the opportunity to do that. Of course, we've had to have funding, so we thank the DFA for the funds that they've given us, for Congresswoman Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda for the funds that she's given us, and of course Senator Dulon, who gave us also funds to come up with our cultural activities. And so we hope to see these publications out this year, which will be a legacy to Filipinos, to historians, Filipino historians, and other historians who follow that particular period in world history.
Ayan. Okay, so yeah, they're going to be doing
that's good. Meron palang mangyayari talaga, no?
Carlos, thank you very much. Have you got any messages for more to the ambassador? Carlos, teka muna. Dali. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Go ahead. No problem. Any? Would you like to greet anybody or say hello or final words to the ambassador?
I don't have any questions. I would just like to say hello to the whole Filipinos and Filipinos in Portugal in particular, and everyone watching this. And a special message to the ambassador, who has been very great leader of this community and helping everyone making this community, which is small here in Portugal, but very united and always feeling at home. Thank you so much.
You know what, Carlos? You have endeared yourself to the Filipinos. So when we get to see you, we'll ask for PEPS na yan, yung autograph. We will ask for your autograph. You are now, the whole of Europe is watching, and they get to know you now, no? The wife of Mabil. So thank you very much. More power and God bless. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Salamat. Ayan, Ambassador. Nako, ayan. I'll get Peps.
Carlos is very
susunod.
May sasabihin pa siya. Si Ambassador Carlos is may good words yata siya.
No, Carlos, I was just saying,
yes?
Carlos is very active. When I first met him in 2017 during a cocktail reception, he introduced himself as the husband of Mabil, and I think they only had one son at the time. And he already offered he goes, Ambassador, if there's anything that I can do for the embassy. And, I thought it was just something, what everybody says. But no, he's really held on to his word, and he's really helped the embassy a lot. And we work with Mabil and with Carlos in many of our activities. And Mabil is a great photographer, by the way.
Wow, good
photographer. So,
okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And Carlos is an up and coming vlogger. But he's a digital person also, so we work together to come up with videos for our activities, and it's all part of empowering the community by getting them involved in the embassy activities. At the same time, it's a promotion of their professional abilities and talents.
Galing, no? Galing naman. At saka alam mo ba, Sonny, tingnan mo dyan, may mga messages si Ambassador Eddie De Vega sa atin, ano? For the Ambassador Cookie, no?
Sandali, hanapin lang natin. Sandali.
Embahador Saidora ba? Anong tabang
Saidora.
Yeah, Cookie, no? From Ambassador Eddie De Vega ng Belgium, ano? At maganda yung kanyang mga pangalawang sinulat, no? I just received a book donation of a collection of materials.
Ito.
Nakita mo dyan, Sonny?
Ito lang, pero yung hindi ko na nakita yung sinasabi mo una. But we'll flash it para makita ng ating mga kababayan na ano tong message from the ambassador. Very appreciative tong kaibigan natin, si Ambassador Ed De Vega, no? Diyan ho sa Brussels yan, no, mga kaibigan. At alam niyo lahat ng ating mga nag-guest dito ay talagang binabati niya, talagang and we love him, no?
Nakakatuwa nga
Napakahusay
ito,
na ambassador.
binabasa ko eh.
Ayan.
Sa treaty pala, dapat pala under tayo sa Portugal eh.
Ganun ba?
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So yan, I just received a book donation of a collection of materials regarding Magellan circumnavigation using documents other than Pigafetta's Chronicle, no? From a German Knight of Rizal, will share with you if possible, no?
Great.
And then yung sumunod na message, nakita mo, Sunny?
Yes. Okay, I'll flash natin. Yan. Sige, pakibasa lang, Peps.
Under the Treaty of Tordesillas, we really should have been under Portugal, no? Since we were situated in Asia. Only the Americas were for Spanish control under that treaty. But under the 1750 Treaty of Madrid, it was agreed that Spain would cede some territory to the Portuguese in South America in return for Portugal recognizing that Spain had effective control of the Philippine Islands. Ayun pala naman, dapat pala under tayo sa Portugal, no? But alam mo naman ang Philippines pinamimigay. So ginamit tayo sa barter trade sa South America, pinagpalit tayo sa South America, no? So we came under the Spanish control, no? Thank you very much, Ambassador Ed De Vega, no? For sharing with us this insight, no, on the Treaty of Tordesillas.
Okay.
Salamat, Ed.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Eddie. We'll be in touch with you.
Just quiet. Oh, sorry. Nadidig tuloy on air. Trying to switch, hindi natin ma-switch where something nakakatuwa ngayon, no? A lot of things technical are happening today, no? Oo nga, na tempo, no?
At ako nga.
Okay
So,
lang.
merong bago, si Sansu Umales Celasor.
Ayan,
Rosales ito, no? So, Ramo, Susan, no?
Okay.
Peps,
andito yung muna.
Mga pangalang ginagamit nila.
Andito yung isa nating magtatanong. Okay. Nadidinig mo ba ako? Can you hear me, Peps? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay lang. And then, I'll just give way. Leilani Yu to, no? Si Yu. Leilani nga ba? Teka muna. Leilani, ito medyo nakakatuwa. Cute tayo ngayon, Peps. It's now showing them, no? Dito sa ating small, sa ating tablet. Leilani, magandang hapon sa'yo. Taga saan ka sa Portugal?
I'm from Lisbon, Maayong hapon, and from Cebu in the Philippines.
From Cebu. Very smart siya.
Yes.
Peps, she sounds very smart, no? Oo. Kailan ka pa dyan from Cebu? Kailan ka pa dyan napunta riyan? Yeah, how long have you been there?
10 years now. It's been 10 years.
And what do you do? What do you do there?
I work with the British Council. I used to work with them in the Philippines, and then I came here. I still work with them.
So you worked in the Philippines, British Council, and when you went, did they bring you there, or you were there and eventually sort of applied locally?
No, my husband's Portuguese, so I asked to be transferred here.
Okay. Wow, okay. Good. Peps, kita mo, because of love. Kaya nariyan sila sa Portugal. So ang love, very powerful. Talaga si Magellan talaga, no? Have you heard of Ferdinand Magellan, Leilani?
Yes, I was born and raised in Cebu, so we go on the Magellan's Cross. We have many things about Magellan there.
Very good. Yung sinulog, meron ako nakitang celebration sila, Ambassador, no? Peps, sinulog Diyan sa Portugal, Imagine mo yan. Parang, saan ba to, Ambassador? Ano to? What is this?
This one is the bazaar, our international bazaar.
Yes. Sandali. Si Ambassador, tinatanong ko lang muna. Sandali lang, si Ambassador. Okay lang. Ito, yan. So, ano yan? Parang bazaar? Ito, ano to? Quickly lang.
This is the outing with the Filipino youth. We went to the presidential palace. I organized a trip for the youth group here in Lisbon to visit kasi sila yung magiging future citizens of Portugal, di ba?
Right.
So these are the two kids of Lani are there, and so I organized
Lani dyan. Okay.
this. So dalawa.
Okay. All right.
And so this is what's called Samaka people. We visited the presidential palace, and it was my way of reaching out to the youth so that they know that they're part of the community, hindi lang yung mga parents nila, but sila, importante sila sa community. And also I open doors for them here in Portugal so that they know that these things are available to them. Because most of these kids are already Portuguese citizens.
Ah, okay.
So,
All right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Sige, tuloy natin some of the photos. Andito si Lailani, si Lani. Lani, pasensya na. This is the first time that we had this very cute setup. We never ever had this. Alam mo, the show must go on, sabi nga nila, 'di ba? Okay.
We are Filipinos, we adjust.
Okay. So, what is your question to the good ambassador Lailani?
Okay, it's so easy coming up with a question because usually when we have questions, we just immediately go to the embassy or contact the ambassador or call anybody of the staff. But this one, I prepared just for today.
Wow.
Cookie, you've worked with several communities in different countries. What makes the Filipino community here in Portugal different from them? And also, what conditions are present in Portugal which may not be present in other countries, conditions that are working in favor of migrant Filipinos?
Very intelligent yung questions niya, Peps, ha? Parang pang showbiz, pang Miss Universe, kompleto.
Pang Miss Universe.
Kompleto yan. Okay, maganda, no? Anong pagkakaiba ng mga Pinoy? Nakaikot ka na sa buong mundo. You've served in different capacities, no? What makes them different? The Pinoys in Portugal. The other Filipinos. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, Lani. Hi, Lani. Thanks for that question. Okay. So I hope it's not for the crown of the Miss Universe because I probably won't get it. But what it is here the Filipino community is much smaller than the community that I was used to working with in Paris and in Brazil and in Spain. But it's definitely bigger than the community I was working with when I was in Brazil. Because in Brazil, it was mostly religious, missionaries who were in Brazil, no, and it was mostly the SVD priests who were there. Then in Paris, it's a big community. It's huge. It's different. In Madrid, it's big because the migration to Madrid started, I think, in the 60s. So there's a lot of old timers. Here it's a young community, and it's very interesting how a lot of people had come into Portugal. I mean, like you, it was because of love, okay? But there were those who came because of a labor migration. So I know that there were people who came in here because when Macau was turned over to China. So when the Portuguese left and came back to Portugal, they brought with them their Filipina household members. And then there were also those who came from Africa because of the former colonies, so they came here to Portugal. So it's a very unique community. It's one that because the situation in Portugal is different from Spain, from France. I think the community here is less stressed when it comes to work. It's a simple life here in Portugal. I mean, if you've come here to Lisbon, it's like a village. It's like a big village. It's definitely not the 3 million or 4 million people in Madrid, and definitely not the I don't know how many in Paris now, 8 million population in Paris, and which are just huge. But the community here is because it's small. It's more in a way, it's more united, and because of the small number, it's easy for us to coordinate with the community and to reach out to them, and for you to reach out to us as well in the embassy. So kahit na maliit ang community, we still work just as hard as if we were a big embassy to be able to give the services that you deserve. The embassy, although we have to abide by health regulations, we still accommodate people. Basta lang, hindi lang kami lumabag sa health protocols kasi syempre if something happens, that's something serious. I mean, that's COVID right away, right? So we take care of each other. And Lani, let me take this opportunity to, like I did with Jema, to thank you for taking care of the community. They have a Facebook page, Filipinos in Portugal, Filipino Association of Filipinos in Portugal, and it's very active. And it's where I tune in every day and see what's happening to the community. And then I see, I said, everything is okay. Everything is quiet in the community now. And so I go back and do my other work in the embassy. But I just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody, all the Filipinos here in Portugal, for being very supportive of the embassy. And, we're here for you. Kung may pangangailangan pa, please just let us know. We'll do our best to always adjust to the needs of the community. And just thank you for the support.
Wow, okay. Ang kakaiba nyo sa inyo, ayan, Lani, panoorin mo lang yun, pero I'm sure napakaganda sinabi ni Ambassador sa'yo. Pero hindi kayo stressed, para lang kayong small village dyan, maganda, no? Maganda ang samahan ninyo. And thank you very much sa'yo, no? So, mabuhay ka.
Thank you, Lani.
Yan ang the best na, well, not really the best, but napakagandang tanong niya talaga, no? Anong pagkakaiba namin sa ibang Pinoy na napagsilbihan mo, yung ating community dito? Maliit lang kayo, hindi kayo stressed, para kayong village. Ayan. So maraming salamat, Lani, ha? Baka may mga final words
Thank
lang.
you,
No?
Lani.
Magandang sinabi ni Ambassador sa'yo. Mabuhay. Thank you, Lani. Thank you, ha?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ayan. Oh.
Thanks, Lani.
Yes, thanks, Lani. Ayan. Naku, may challenges tayo. Pep, sige, baka may mga pagbati ka.
Oo.
Habang tatawagan natin
Meron
last but
lang
not the
akong
least. Para lang.
correction,
Go ahead.
Dahil maliit yung binabasa ko, sabi ko, watching from Cumbria. Hindi pala Cumbria. Si Susan
Coimbra.
Rosales, no? Coimbra. Coimbra pala. No? Nasa Portugal pala siya. Thanks. Hope you visit here in Fatima and Coimbra. Yeah. Congratulations, Ma'am Cookie. No, from Susan Rosales.
Thank you po.
And then si Bea Unahan o Unadjan. No? Depende kung nasaan ka. Watching from Lisbon, Portugal. No? And then siyempre nanonood pa rin sa atin si Andrea Belen Garcia. No? So marami. Nagpapasalamat din si Jaima. No? Maraming salamat po. Si Jaima Lindy. Day pala. Pero hindi pala, akala ko nung una, Bisaya. Kaya sabi ko, Jaima Linday. Hindi pala. Ilocano pala siya. Kaya naging Jaima Lindy Jai.
Ayan, Peps. Okay. Meron tayong huli. Last but not the least na magtatanong sa atin, Peps. Ano ba kakaiba ang Portugal? Mga Pinoy nagsasabi, Ma'am, paano ka ba namin tutulungan? Babaliktad, no? Pero which is good, no? Diba? Parang si John F. Kennedy, ask not what the government can...
What you can do, what your country can do for you, but what you can do
for your country. Kasi lalo na kayo, diba, during the pandemic, baka, diba, hindi kayo makalabas ng basta-basta to fully operate as yung dating regular operation niya because of the pandemic. So nakakaintindi sila at mahal na mahal. Parang Peps, gusto ko magbakasyon sa punta tayo sa Portugal at ma-meet natin. Napaka-babait na mga Pinoy dyan, no? Okay, Ma'am, we have last
but not the least. Sabi nga nung aking asawa, nung nagro-rosary daw sila habang nagpo-procession, bigla na lang may Tagalog yung isang decade. Tagalog eh.
Oo. Maraming Pilipino. Kaya napunta ko. Ayan. Peps, Sanchez, her name is Sanchez, ano ba ito? Si Sanchez, Grace Sanchez. From Lisbon, taga Lisboa. Grace, magandang hapon sa iyo. Nakikinig si Ambassador. Teka muna, kilalanin natin, Peps. Gaano katagal ka na rin sa Grace, sa Portugal?
Hello po, magandang hapon po sa lahat ng
Grace, teka muna. Kailan ka pa dyan? Kailan ka pa sa Portugal?
Dumating po ako dito noong 2007.
Okay, alright.
Tagal na.
So, anong ginagawa mo ngayon? Ikaw ay dumating dyan sa pag-ibig?
Hindi po. Isa po ako sa maswerte kasi po yung naging employer ko po isang consul diplomat ng Saudi Embassy.
Okay.
Nasa po kami dito sa Portugal.
Okay. So, yun ang paraan kaya ka nakarating dyan. So, at namalagi ka na dyan, no? Parang, how many years ka na? 2007, di ba? Tama? Yung ba sabi mo?
Opo, 14 years na po ako ngayon dito sa Portugal.
Tagal na. Okay. Ano ang tanong mo kay Ambassador? Siguro, ito yung sangalan din ng mga kababayan natin dyan sa Portugal, yung tanong mo siguro, no? Hindi lamang personal, kundi parang nilalarawan o sinasalamin mo yung mga feelings ng inyong kababayan dyan. Go ahead, please. Nakikinig si Ambassador.
Sa aming kagalang-galang na ambasadora dito sa Portugal, Madam Cookie, ito po ang aking katanungan po. Ano po ang common problem tungkol sa mga kababayan natin ngayong panahon ng pandemic? At ano-ano po ba ang pwedeng maihandog na tulong ng ating embahada?
Okay. Yun ba tanong mo? Yun lang? Yun na? Yun na yun?
Mayroon pa po isa.
O sige, sama mo na. Baka sakali mahabol natin. So, ang tanong mo kung ano magagawa ng... Yeah, go ahead.
Opo. May paraan po ba na pwedeng makapag-vaccine ang ating mga kababayan na wala po silang NEF or numero de contribuent dito? Kasi nahihirapan po sila. Ano po ba pwedeng maitulong ng ating embahada? Ma'am.
Okay. Sige. Tatanong natin ha. Sige, huwag ka maingay ngayon ha. Magsasagutin ni Ambassador. Ambassador, narinig niyo yung dalawang katanungan niya, no?
Yes.
Pandemic and...
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace daw, ha?
Okay. So, yung common problems during the pandemic, like nung umpisa was yung mga stranded na mga Filipino OFW, usually mga seafarers, kasi maraming mga seafarers who were working in mga cruise ships. So we assisted in their repatriation. So before I forget, aside pala from the 4 African countries, we also have what's called consular jurisdiction over Gibraltar. So we were also coordinated the repatriation of about, I think, 13 seafarers from Gibraltar to return to the Philippines, and about over 300 Filipino crew members from various cruise ships that landed that docked in Lisbon, and then they couldn't go home. So that's what we did, no? And then those who got sick naman with COVID and lost their jobs, we were able to also coordinate together with Polo OWA in Madrid, kasi wala kaming Polo office dito or OWA office in Portugal. We depend sa Madrid. So we were able to coordinate the assistance that the Department of Labor had given to OFWs who had lost their jobs. At the same time, the embassy also gave one-time food assistance of 50 euros to for people who had lost their jobs or had no money as a result of the pandemic. So we gave out gift certificates from the supermarket here, for purchase of food. And I think we've already disbursed about close to 50 of those cards for our kababayans here. Then the usual, consular work that we do for them. We continue extending assistance when there are people who fell ill with COVID, and once they let us know that they're ill, because not everybody tells the embassy that they're ill from COVID, then we're able to extend assistance. As to yung second question mo, yung how yung mga essentially yung mga walang papel sa Portugal. Ang policy ng Portuguese government is for everybody to be vaccinated. So they have an online registration. Kaya lang nga, inuna nila yata yung may mga health numbers, kasi it's easy to trace them. So there is an online link, which we will, I think we've posted that, and also Lani has posted that on the AFP website, wherein you can go and register your date of birth, your phone number, and your name, and then they're supposed to contact you. But the idea is everybody in Portugal, regardless of status, is supposed to be vaccinated. If people have difficulties, we can work with the community, with both AFP and OFW family, to try and get people to be vaccinated.
Okay. So, ano pala, no? Pero hindi sila, ma'am. For example, they go online. Sabi mo nga, yung mga may numbers ang inuuna. Pero kung hindi pa, eventually, yung mga undocumented, eventually, pwede na, no? Sabi mo pa, pwede. Hindi kaya matakot sila, ma'am? Baka bigla silang ma-deport? Wala naman dapat ikatakot sa ganun.
Wala naman sila dapat ikatakot dito, kasi it's hindi yung just because wala kang papel, wala ka ng and it's actually separate the health and the immigration status here.
Okay.
But we've had situations where some Filipinos say they just go and bring in their passports and they're able to be vaccinated.
Ayan, may kwento
Because
para,
like I said, di ba,
yeah, go ahead, ma'am. Sasabihin ko lang, i-recap ko lang sila, ulit. Go ahead, yeah.
yeah. Kasi yung virus naman is wala naman yan whether may papel ka or wala. You get it if you're exposed to it. So it doesn't matter what your status is. But here, I think that the government has realized that it's important to vaccinate everyone. Otherwise, society isn't safe if there's one who's not vaccinated, and that's one way for the virus to propagate in Portugal. But if there are Filipinos who have difficulty, there's no problem. We can always make representation to assist the Filipino community get the vaccination that they need.
Go online first siguro, Kath, Grace. Pero pagka later on, pwedeng gumawa ng representations ang embassy kung meron pang mawala sa inyong siguro nakapagbakuna pa o may problema kung paano i-coordinate, no? Pwede rin gumawa ng representations, but you try to do it, no? Inuuna lang yata yung may mga numero. Sinasabi mo, Ambassador.
Ang importante, pwede pala.
Pwede pala. Okay, Grace, maraming salamat ha. Mabuhay ha. Ingat-ingat kayo dyan ha.
Thanks, Grace.
Ayan, okay, si Grace. O, ayan. Okay.
Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Grace daw ha, sabi ni Ambassador. Ayan. Okay. Well, ayun, Peps, no? Nakakatuwa naman. Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng embassy na halos lahat gustong sabihin, ma'am, ano ba pwede namin gawin sa inyo? Di ba? So, mahal na mahal talaga kayo ng inyong mga kababayan. No, they would like to help. Ano kaya? Nakikita siguro nila na parang, ano ba pwede namin maitulong dito? Napakabait ng aming ambassador, no? Ano ba pwedeng, para hindi magkaroon ng wrinkle sa aming ambassador dito, tayo na gagawa ng mga trabaho o pwede na asistihan, no?
Sonny and Peps, it's no, just to answer your question, it's we're a small embassy here, so we're like a family, and the community is an extension of our family. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're all single here in the embassy, correct? Except for Tony, whose wife is in Manila but will be coming home, and Lito, whose wife is now back in the Philippines. So I think the fact that we're all single here, naghahanap kami ng family, and sino yung family namin? Edi yung Filipino. So we feel an affinity to the community here, and we feel one with them. And I hope they feel the same thing with us.
I think they feel the same. You feel an affinity. They feel close to the embassy, And here they are. They're trying to offer themselves, ma'am, ano ba kailangan nyo? Ano ba maitutulong namin? Diba?
Yeah.
So, siguro, yung mga
it's a wonderful community.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful community. Yeah. I couldn't ask for anything more. Yun lang nga, I just wish we could go to Angola also, because there's also a great community there. But we can't fly now because of all this health requirements. That's 8 hours down in Africa, and we have to quarantine when you get there. And then when we come back here, I think there's some quarantine also. So and like I told you, there's only 8 of us. So pag umalis ang kalahati for consular outreach, wala na matitira sa Lisbon. So
can we say?
But we're doing our best.
Can we say that you're not a full complement? Hindi full complement kayo, or kulang ba ng 1 or 2? Ganyan?
No, that's the staffing pattern for Lisbon. Although I suppose because when we started with the staffing pattern for Lisbon, hindi pa na nasama yung karagdagang jurisdiction for African countries. Mm-hmm. But so far, kaya naman eh. It's just like it's the pandemic eh. I think with all the modern digital communication, things are so much easier, except walang laban sa virus. Mm-hmm. So we've had to push back a little bit our activities, and we're asking a little bit more patience from our kababayans in Angola. We're able to come up with stopgap measures. We're able to extend their passports, but it's not for travel, meaning we can only extend their passports for work purposes, so that they can renew their working visa in Angola. And then, pwede naman kasi silang umuwi sa Pilipinas, but we're just trying to, if they can as much as possible not go home right now, it's better. Kasi andyan pa rin ang virus, there's the quarantine. Facilities in the Philippines are parang we don't want to unnecessary that Filipinos go back home kung hindi naman siya emergency kasi kulang na nga yung quarantine facilities natin, no? So there are measures like in Angola we're able to renew their passports or extend their passports for 2 years, but that's only for employment purposes para they can renew their work permits in Angola. Yeah, their visas. So sana once there's an opening, kahit na maliit na health opening lang, we see a bright light out there, right away we're gonna go to Angola so that we can renew their passports.
1,000 official population of Filipinos in Portugal. 1,005 parang unofficial yata yan, di ba? Sabi mo, para kanina. Tama ba yun?
Mga 1,517.
1,700.
17, yeah.
Ilan sa Angola? Ilan doon sa mga iba pang nasa sakupan mo? Angola, for example, are we talking...
Angola.
Sa Angola.
Mga UN ba?
No, Angola, it's about 1,400.
Marami rin.
Almost 1,500. Yes.
Halos pareho ng Portugal yan.
Really? Angola?
Halos pareho, yeah.
Ano trabaho niyo sa
Angola?
They're very high. Working visa.
Engineers. A lot of mining engineers. Angola has diamonds, and then they have a big mining industry. They also have a big petroleum industry. So mining engineers, petroleum engineers, civil engineers for construction work, and then office administrative assistants, and then also we have in the service sector. So, and they're quite highly paid in Angola. Yes.
Galing, no? Galing pala. No? Akala ko, Angola, isipin ko, baka 3-4 lang ang Pilipino, no? Yung pala, napakarami pala.
When I presented credentials in Angola, I was surprised when I thanked the president, of course, for among other things, welcoming the Filipino community in Angola, because they give them work permits, And he said, "No, Madam Ambassador, it's I who should thank you." And I said, "Why? Why will you thank me?" He goes, "Because it's your countrymen that helped build my nation." Because we were fixing the roads, working in the mines, in the oil fields while they were fighting their wars. So there's this legacy of the Filipinos in Angola. Good. Actually, wherever you go, there's a legacy of the Filipinos, and that's very nice to hear. Even in Sao Tome and Principe, there's a handful. Well, no, there's about 20 Filipinos there, but they work in businesses that are very visible, and they're very well received in Sao Tome and Principe. They're teachers. They teach English. Some is a captain of a ship. One has a business, a cable business. He does the cabling for all the ministers. He goes to the house of the president, all the prime ministers, all the ministers. So kilala nila yung mga tao. And so when you go around there, they know everybody, and everybody speaks highly of the Filipinos, and that's very, very satisfying as a Filipino.
Yeah, nagpapasalamat ka. You were thanking them, but they were thanking you more, di ba? So it made you more, proud. No? Ganun ba yun? No? So that's nice, and you felt so proud of the Pinoys there, no?
Yeah.
No?
And I tell the Filipinos
kami, paraw sila. Yung mga taga-Angola nagpapasalamat dahil kundi din sa kanila, at least nabibuild, napapatakbo ang ekonomiya, operations nila, no? No, so magandang bagay yan. Ambassador, we just would like to, we always ask this sa mga aming na interview dito. Sino hong mga kabats ninyo, no? Na mga, let's say, nandito siguro sa Europa, or kung hindi man dito, baka, sino ho ba? Kasi every batch ho, every ambassador has a batchmate, no? Sino hong kabats ninyo?
Right. So bago siya uuwi, sa Rome, si Ambassador Ding Nolasco, that's my batchmate. And then, yung kakauwi lang, Ambassador Jet Leda from the Netherlands, Ambassador King Soreta from Moscow. That's it. Tatlo lang kami sa Europe.
Ayun.
Apat lang kami. We were only four in Europe, and then the rest are in Asia. And let's see. Yeah. And then one is in Morocco, nearby. Morocco.
Ambassador Nolasco of Italy ba? Sabi mo kanina?
Italy, yeah.
Yes, of Rome, yes.
Outgoing
Yes.
yata si Ambassador, no? Nolasco?
Yes, yes,
And-
yes.
Okay,
Oo.
okay.
Kaya hindi namin ma-confirm pa yung Italy because of the situation there sa assignment, no?
Kasi
Yes.
I think he's leaving already. Yeah.
Yeah, oo nga.
Okay, well,
But
Peps, baka may mga
next
last...
week, ang guest namin, Amba, is Czech Republic, no? And then after that, yung dating nandyan sa Portugal, no? Who's now in Spain.
Ambassador
Louis
The Willier, okay, yes.
Yeah.
So, and then we're looking forward to others, no? Like si Ambassador Myla Makihilig na bagong-bago dyan sa Vatican. So, hopefully makakasama natin in the future.
Yes.
Ayan.
Kung sana nga
Okay.
makarating na kaagad. And
Okay.
then we're
Peps?
also hoping yung dating number 2 mo dyan sa Portugal who's now on dyan sa Frankfurt, no? Baka makasama din natin si Bembem Garcia, no? So,
Yes.
marami.
Yes.
Maraming mga binabalak, no? So, si King ng Moscow, we met him, Tani, remember, when he came over here, no?
Sino?
To
Peps?
attend
Who?
a conference. Si Ambassador King Soreta ng Russia. Na-meet natin sa Philippine Embassy yan.
Yes.
Nag-attend siya dito ng isang conference but he was here. May mga questions dito.
Ito, pasok ko lang to. Si Jessa Tan Parani ba? Jessa Tan Parani lang. Quickly lang, no? Okay. Ayan, sandali lang. If-flash lang natin, no? Para makita lang ni Ambassador. Pero tungkol sa SSS to, baka may masabi lang si Ambassador. Sandali lang, ha?
At may follow-up question dyan, related to that question.
Sige,
isa pang,
ayan.
Basahin natin ang buo dahil hindi lumalabas ng kumpleto dyan. Good day to all. I have just one question for Ma'am Ambassador Cookie Feria. Why do we not have an SSS representative in Lisbon? In my opinion po kasi napaka-importante po niya sa mga Pilipinos. Yun lamang po. Salamat. God bless mo, Sir Sonny and Sir Pep and Ma'am Amba. No?
Yes.
Yun po. No?
Meron, may idea ho
I think I can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no, Jessa, so di naman kailangan ng representative ng SSS dito kasi we actually have an agreement on social security with the Portugal and the Philippines. I think what we can do is perhaps organize some kind of a briefing with the community about the agreement between Portugal and the Philippines. Pero I think your concern is yung kung naghuhulog ka sa Pilipinas, pwede naman maghulog sa mga SSS, may mga SSS remittance centers in Europe. And I think we can get in touch with them if that's what we want. We can give you that information. But what's more important is that we have a social security agreement between Portugal and Philippines, which means once you retire, you can get your benefits from Portugal in the Philippines kasi kasama yung export of benefits doon. And we've posted it on our FB page, the agreement. It looks just like this. It explains everything here, how you do. Ang importante lang is continue working in Portugal. Once you're ready to go back to the Philippines, you go to the Social Security office here, and we have the address in the brochure. And you coordinate with them that you're going home and you want to get your benefits there, and they'll tell you everything. Para pag uwi nyo sa Pilipinas, andun na yung mas mabilis yung pag-receive nyo ng inyong Social Security benefits. But if your question is how to continue paying Social Security, you let us know and we'll get you in touch with the nearest Social Security office that caters to Portugal. I think that's in Rome.
Okay, hanapin natin yung may kaibigan ako si Walter Lim. I don't know, checking ko lang kung meron siyang coordination diyan, no. He's with Metro Remittance, no, at yung mga iba-iba pa nating mga kaibigan, no. So, ayan. Pero pagka ganun, ma'am, so she worked there continuously and then tinutuloy niya yung SSS niya sa Pilipinas. Magdadalawa ho ba ang kanyang parang pension? Ganun?
Actually, no, actually hindi. Ang kailangan nun is sa Philippines to receive your pension, you need a minimum contribution for 120 months. So, kunyari, you've contributed less than 120 months while you're in the Philippines. Pagpunta mo dito sa Portugal, of course, you're working, so you contribute to Social Security. So, you will total your number of contributions to Portugal, sa contributions sa Philippines. If you total 120, then you can already get your Social Security sa Philippines.
Okay.
But you will only get how the corresponding amount that you've contributed in the Philippines and the corresponding amount that you've contributed in Portugal.
Okay. Well, at least malinaw yan. No? Alright, so maraming mga pagbati dito.
Tama-tama, Sonny. Yung question kasi ni Susan Rosales tungkol dyan. I just want to ask something about the information posted on Facebook about the agreement of SSS from Philippines and Seguranca Social here in Portugal.
Ayan.
So yan,
okay.
Hindi pa natin na itatanong, nasagot na ni Amba.
Yes. And Aaron Andres, very informative talk. Thank you, Ma'am Ambassador Cookie Ferrer, to the host, and Ma'am Lani and Grace to the questions. No, ayan, mahal na mahal ka nila, no, Ambassador, no. Talagang, well, they're congratulating you, no, dito, no. So, okay. Well, I guess medyo napahaba yung ating kwentuhan. Pasensya na at napahaba ho dahil nagkaroon kami ng konting technical problem ho at I'm sure, hopefully, nag-enjoy din ng mga kababayan natin na siyempre, the ever smiling and family daw, sabi ni Ambassador, di ba? Parang may affinity daw siya. But conversely,
meron nga
our kababayan are loving her.
Nag-comment nga
diba?
dito, Sonny, no?
Family.
Si Anita Lomboy, yes po, we are one family. Here, not by blood, but in spirit of bayanihan, we work as one family. We salute our good ambassador, no? Si Anita Lomboy.
Yes.
Si Maytig Bao Vargas, magandang hapon po sa mga host at sa lahat ng nanonood ng programa.
I-flash lang natin kay Anita Lomboy para naman at least makita ng ating mga kababayan na, di ba, napakaganda na kanya sinabi. Ayan, sabi niya, yes po, yan. Binabasa mo kanina, Peps.
We are one family.
Here not by blood.
Not by blood, but in spirit of bayanihan.
And we work as one family. We salute our
Thank
good
you.
ambassador.
Thanks, Anita.
Wala silang kundi tanong kay Ambassador. Ambassador, ano ba pwede namin maitulong sa inyo? Ano mga magawa namin on behalf of, para... So maganda yan.
Diba, ang sarap?
Yes, masarap, Ambassador. And in fact, ikaw, masarap sa'yo that you feel that yung constituencies mo, yung mga kababayan natin dyan na nasasakupan mo, mahal na mahal ka, no? And also, you feel proud when you went to Angola na imbis na ikaw magpasalamat na bigyan ng hanap buhay, sila pa nagpapasalamat sa'yo, no? The more, no? And that made you
but
really proud of Pinoys. Yes, Ambassador.
But Peps and Sonny, like I said, it's not all me. It's the embassy. It's everybody. It's everybody from the person who answers the phone to the people, to the ATN assistants to nationals, to everybody here. The consuls, the consul, the vice consul, everybody here. We work to make it work here. Make it work in Portugal for everybody.
Okay, well, I guess, Ma'am, magpapaalam na tayo at it's been a wonderful time that we had with you, and it's been informative, and we somehow got to meet our kababayans by way of those participants, no? And mukhang mahal na mahal kayo dyan, no? Siguro, baka meron kayong nais na ipaalam siguro sa ating mga kababayan na hindi namin naitanong. There are probably some things that we forgot to ask you and you'd like people to know, lalo na dyan sa Portugal. Go right ahead, please, Ma'am.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, first of all, Sonny and Peps, thank you so much for this opportunity to reach out again to our kababayans here in Portugal and elsewhere, wherever the show reaches and whoever sees us. But we'd just like to tell our kababayans in Portugal, the embassy is always here. We're open 7 days a week, except, of course, holidays. And you know that you can reach us. You have our Facebook, you have our personal numbers, I think that's the beauty of it, is because they know they can reach out anytime. There's no rush to get anything. I mean, they feel at home, they feel relaxed, and we want to keep it this way. Whatever it is that you need, we'll try and be there to help, because this is for us. We're here for you. We're here to promote the Philippines, and we're here to take care of the overseas Filipinos in Portugal and in the areas where we have jurisdiction. So please, I don't know what else to say. Let's just continue the good relationship. Reach out to us, and we'll reach out to you. And we are just so proud to be here in Portugal to serve the Filipino community. Thank you very much.
Wow, we're so also happy and fortunate to have you, no, dito. Ma'am, pang ano lang, ano masarap na kainin diyan? Ano ba kinakain mo rin? I mean, kami may fish and chips kami dito. Ano ba pag for us to know, parang culturally, ano ba pagkain ng mga Portuguese? Ano masarap diyan?
Yung famous nila dito is bacalhau, okay? The cod, and it's cooked, I don't know, 1,000 ways. They have great seafood, clams, they have razor clams, and then the regular clams. They have oysters, fish, and of course the famous pastel de nata. That's the custard pie that they have here. And the porto wines, and they have great pork. It's called porco preto. It's most delicious pork you can ever have.
Wow.
It's almost like parang wagyu pork siya. It's delicious. They have great fruits here. Food is really good here in Portugal, especially seafood. And fresh vegetables. Yeah. Tsaka it's relatively inexpensive here in Portugal. That's why a lot of tourists from the UK and other places come here and settle in Portugal. A lot of Brits, a lot of French, a lot of Germans. The weather and the food
cheaper
and the food.
Yeah. Well, Ma'am,
Yes,
thank you very much.
and also because a lot of thank you so much.
Go
Thank you po.
What you were about to say? May sinasabi
No, I was
ka.
going to say, and yes, the other thing was because a lot of people speak English in Portugal, so it's easier for international travelers to come to Portugal, and for Filipinos also to find work here.
Ayan. Wow, thank you very much mga kaibigan. Yung ating pinakamamahal na ambassador po mula sa Portugal, no? Philippine Embassy sa Portugal. Walang iba kundi si Ambassador Celia Ana Cookie Feria. Ma'am, thank you very much and hope to have you again on the show again. Pag-ikot namin ni PEPS uli dito sa buong Europa, no? Maraming salamat po.
Please come to Fatima.
Yes,
Thank you.
napansin natin sa likod nyo yung inyong statues dyan, puro Fatima, no?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Mabuhay ho
Thank
kayo.
you.
Ayan, Peps, ha?
Thank you. Mabuhay po kayo.
Mabuhay kayo. Ayan, si Ambassador. Thank you very much, Peps, no? Ayun, marami tayong natutunan kay Ambassador. Yes, Peps, nawala ka. Sandali. Nawala yung audio mo. Wala kang audio. Yes.
Alam mo ba kung sino nagpasikat ng pastel de nata dito sa London?
Sino?
Yung Portuguese bakery sa Ladbroke Grove.
Okay.
Na ang asawa ng Portuguese is Pilipina.
Alright. Talaga.
Yun. Sila ang nag-umpisa ng pastel de nata dito. Alam mo, yung pila doon sa bakery nila, alam ng mga tao kung kailan lalabas sa oven yung pastel de nata.
Wow.
Nakapila na yung mga tao. Oo, all around the corner, ano? Nakapila na sila para pagtanggap nilang pastel de nata nila, medyo warm pa.
Yung masarap kasi, di ba? Yung mga bagong luto. No? Okay.
Yes,
wow.
bagong luto. At may mga nag-message din, no? Si Carlos Sampaio, no? Yung ating guest. No? Always great to see Filipino community together, speaking its language, telling its stories, good program, good conversations. Mabuhay Pilipinas. Salamat. No?
Thank you very much, Carlos. No?
Yes, Susie Clark is
Sampaio.
watching. Susie is tiga UK yan. Ano? At saka si Lani, nag-thank you rin. No? Si Lani Yu. Si Leilani, yung ating guest kanina. Thank you for featuring Portugal in your show. Saka,
sabi niya, Sir Sonny, Sir Peps,
no?
looking forward seeing you here in Fatima. Sansu, no? Susan.
Si Andrea Belen
Rosales.
Garcia. Super humble daw yung ating our amba, sabi niya. Super humble.
Naman. Very charming yung ambassador ng Portugal. Nakakatuwa kasi dahil all smiling and people would like to help her, di ba? Saka nakakita na ganyan, amba, kami na, ano bang pwede namin maitulong? So, well loved. Hindi na mahirap ang trabaho niya. Ika nga, di ba? Parang kasabi niya, if you play at your work, parang you're happy rather than when you're working at your work, no? So parang si Ambassador, parang naglalaro na lang dyan, no? Parang, if you could say, kasi one family, di ba? Hindi na yung masyadong formalize sila na parang ika nga, malapit ang ambahada sa mga Pilipino diyan. Yun ang masasabi natin, di ba?
Nakakatuwa naman, ano?
Nakakatuwa. Yes.
At saka yung mga tiga Portugal very
very warm.
Very active, no? Kita mo
active
naman,
sila, yes.
ibase mo lang doon sa mga nagko-comment na tiga Portugal, no? Yung sa mga iba kasi napuntahan natin, nanonood sila, pero hindi nagko-comment masyado, no? Siguro mahihiyain, ano? Pero yung mga Pilipino sa Portugal,
no?
Very active, no? At talagang nagko-comment sila.
Okay,
nakakatuwa naman. Magaling at nanonood sila dito sa atin.
Ang ambassador ng
TV Europe, no?
Ng Portugal, no? Si Ambassador Cookie Feria. Okay, Peps. So, sige, magpaalam na tayo, Peps, kung meron ka pa bang mga...
So, next week po, abangan ninyo, Czech Republic po kami, no? We're going to the Czech Republic. So, andito po uli ang embassy natin, kaibigan mo, dito lang po sa Filipino TV Europe, no? Yung kalimutan, 3 o'clock po next week. Dito pa rin, no? Andito pa rin kami. And then after that, saan pa tayo pupunta? Spain, no? We're going to Spain after that.
We're going to Spain, yes. Czech Republic,
and then
Spain.
tingnan natin kung saan pa tayo pupunta, no? So, antay-antay lang tayo. Kino-confirm pa natin yung mga dates ng iba. But in the meantime, nag-message din si Ambassador, no? Salamat po sa pag-feature sa Portugal.
Yes,
Ambassador
salamat.
Cookie Feria.
Yeah, we want to thank her. Kami rin.
For joining us, no? Ambassador.
Okay.
Huwag mo kalimutan itong ating imbitasyon sa Fatima, no?
Yes. Oo nga, sa Fatima,
Kay
Portugal.
Susan Rosales, no? Sa Coimbra. So maraming salamat po sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay sa amin dito ni Sonny, dito lang po sa Filipino TV Europe. At abangan din po ninyo yung mga iba pa naming mga palabas, no? Yung Immigration Corner every Thursday, andyan din yung aming legal advice every Tuesday, Sonny LARAGAN Show every Wednesday. So marami pong mga iba't iba pa kayong mga programang mapapanood dito sa Filipino TV Europe, no? At tingnan lang po ninyo yung aming mga sa aming Facebook page. Meron din po kami sa YouTube. Manood po kayo Filipino TV Europe. Hindi kayo magsisisi. Hindi ba, Sonny?
Yes. Oh, yeah. We're trying to bring yung ating mga kababayan, pinag-uugnay-ugnay natin by way of our shows, public service and everything, no? Yung mga binabanggit mong programa, mga legal advice, immigration, these are all for public service, and we're letting our kababayans benefit, no? Doon sa yung mga pag may problema sila at may maitatanong silang mga legal questions, immigration questions. At dito syempre, no, we're trying to bridge yung mga kababayan natin through our interviews with the ambassadors. So, sa ngalan Peps, sa ngalan ng ating pinakamamahal na ambassador, na ating very special guest for today, si Ambassador Celia Ana Cookie Feria, no? Si Ambassador Cookie Feria. At sa ngalan syempre ng ating kaibigang si co-host natin, si PEPS Villanueva, at yung ating producer, no? At director, no? Si Paula Perez, no? Ito po si Sonny LARAGAN nagsasabing thank you very much. So sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay, let's do it again, no? Let's do again yung ating embassy natin, kaibigan mo. Next week naman, sabi nga ni Peps, asa tayo uli? Peps, Czech Republic.
Czech Republic,
no? Sa Prague tayo, Prague, no? Iba-iba pang bahagi ng
Dala ka ng Czech.
Dala tayong Czech dyan sa Czech Republic.
Uy, Sonny.
Okay, Peps.
Ko lang. Just let me know daw. I can offer your accommodation in Fatima. Wow, si Susan, no? Sige, we will take you up on that, no?
Susan, mabuhay ka dyan, ha? Mabuhay. Alam ko si Susan has been our patagal na nating viewer, listener yan sa Pinoy Radio UK yata. Tama ba, Susan? No, dito sa atin, no? I remember she was getting in touch with us noon. Maraming salamat. We love you. That's nice. Kita nyo naman. Paula, kita mo naman. Peps, meron tayong invitation kagad. Pag napunta tayo ng Fatima, wala na tayong problema sa sa tag dito sa accommodation. Problema lang natin yung aeroplano lang natin.
Mura lang yan.
Aeroplano lang magdadala sa atin papunta sa yung aeroplano natin, no? Pero yan, syempre, may EasyJet, may Ryanair, meron pang mga kung ano-ano pa diyan, no? So, sa ngalan po ni Peps Villanueva, ito po si Sonny LARAGAN. Sa ngalan po ni Ambassador Cookie Fair. At syempre, sa ngalan din ni Paula Perez. Ito po si Sonny LARAGAN nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay. Take care, God bless, and see you next week. Bye!
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.